So today we're going to do some work on Amazing Spider-Man 19. I previewed this yesterday in the system update video, and right now I have the book in Vader here. I like to call this guy Vader. And I've got him heating up, so he's been in there about 5 minutes. And this is a cover removal, so we're going to get right to it. I think I'm going to do another book today. I'm going to do 2 cover removals today, and we're going to see how it goes. I haven't had great success as of yet with this process, but that's not going to deter me from doing more and more. Okay, so I need I need to take the cover off and then clean the book, and then whiten the book, and then wash the book. So here we go. I'm going to open to the centerfold. And this might be unadvisable, taking this book apart. The centerfold, the top page of the centerfold looks fairly weakened from time. The lower centerfold staple looks fine, but let me just try to zoom in here and give you a peep at what's going on. So you can see there's just some paper. The paper looks a little less than perfect around the centerfold. And the hardest part of the process is reinserting the staples. For me, in my experience, that is the most difficult challenge, is reinserting the staples. So, but I'm going to keep calm and carry on. So I've got my capable staple tool here. Which also is a good staple holder. All right, we're just gonna press down. I think I want to do the bottom first. Excuse me. It's a beautiful day in North Carolina today. All right. So that is up. Slip there. Oh, that is up. We seem intact, which is good. Excuse me. There is pollen everywhere, and my allergies are probably going to be a little rough for this foreseeable future. I already have bad throat allergies typically, but they should just get worse. So you'll hear a lot of me clearing my throat. Lower staple, no problem. No problem. I already feel more confident in this process, only having done it really 2 weeks. I've been thinking about this channel for a long time. I've had all the camera equipment and kind of knew that I wanted to do something like this and offer a live service, which is coming. We will provide service soon. I was waiting to practice these methods to become proficient on camera. And so now the time is here, and it's an exciting time for me. Okay, there's one. My friend is hilarious. She had me change her name on her contact list to something inappropriate. And as tasteless as I am reluctant to throw this on the video. So, Lindsay, you're gonna have to chill, okay? You gotta chill. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this splash by old Steve Ditko. That's pretty cool. Spidey's godfather, Stan Lee. Spidey's big daddy, Steve Ditko. Okay. I need to grab a Post-it note. I want to label these staples and let them live in a Post-it note. So, okay. Here is the Post-it note. And we're just going to let these live in here until I'm done. All right. Organization. I think that's a solid process. Okay, so now what I want to do, the book is pretty flimsy. The paper is old. This is a total reader. Again, this area here will be everything going forward. The bottom is much better than the top. And I think if I'm just careful, there should be no issue. The page will become brittle with the peroxide treatment. I did watch Immaculate Comics today. They did a test on the blue light, UV light, 24 hours, and the variance over time. And it looks like the book should be good. But what's interesting is that his lights are different. He has 35 watt lights, I think. Unless he used the 18 to 24s that ship with the ImacuCube. And because I have experienced much longer times than what he has put up. He put up an Iron Man 55 the other day and said it was that the 55 with the foxing removal on the back cover? I think it was, and he did it for 2 hours, and the foxing was gone, and it was so white. Really great result. I think it's book by book, honestly. I think that's kind of how it works, but this will be the first test of the system upgrade from yesterday, where I lined the interior with some reflective tape. You can see here, I have a light on, and it's still, You can't tell on camera, but I can see that it added opacity to the light box, and that when I lift it up, I'll be able to see if it's reflective or not. Moving on. So right now, we are going to AmacuClean this. Okay. I just washed my hands before the show started. I prefer to feel the book. That is my simple preference. I understand if others do not share that preference, and I understand my hands get dirty throughout the process, but this is an old book, and this isn't super high grade, and I just gonna continue to do what I do. All right, so we want it nice, even, very lightly. Don't really need to worry about too much because the book will be washed. Hoping to remove the water stain and whiten the cover. And it should be a beautiful, beautiful result. All right. I love the way AmacuClean wakes up the ink. It just kind of wakes it up. We do have a little dirt there. Now for the back side. I like to work left to right, so I need to flip the book upside down. Nice and saturated. Easy, smooth strokes. Middle out, middle out. Just like that HBO show with the nerds. Middle out compression. Pied Piper. Mike Judge wrote that show. It was a good show. Can't remember the name of it at the moment. It was called Silicon Valley. That's how long it took for me to remember that name. Yay, yay. All right. We are fully, much more dirt on the back of the book. Okay. I'm going to clean the interior also. I want to let it dry for a moment. You can see here that some of the moisture has gone through the spine, which is fine. But I don't want to work with that right yet. It just needs a little bit of time to dry. And in the meantime, we can take a look. First of all, I just want to show you that the washing machine doubles as an atmospheric sound device, and it brings calmness to the room with the flowing water. There's a small hum to the motor, but the flowing water, which you can hear, is very nice, and it brings me peace. And to be honest, I think true wealth is peace of mind. And that is your daily dose of Zen, and you're welcome. All right, so over here, I am still doing mark removal on Demon number 1. And it's, I think I'm at a standstill. I don't think I am getting any more ink lift. I did it in the press over and over and over, and then I moved to the cold press, and I'm just not getting much more ink removal. It is much less, but it is not. It is not completely gone. And I will be removing this cover and whitening and washing also. I'm really jumping into the process, and I'm going to learn this one way or another. Okay, so we've got a little, it's drier, so I'm going to go ahead and I don't think much dirt gets on the interior of the cover. This is a moving target of what's happening, so that's just how it's going to be from here on out. Okay, internet? Okay, so we've got our water. Just want to gently wash, wash, wash. That's some yellow. There is some yellow on the cover, which is susceptible to damage with the AmeriClean. Nice. Lots of dirty dirt. Lots of dirty dirt. Okay. I don't know what to think about this cover. It's okay. It's an okay cover. It's definitely not a top 10 or anything, but it's a cool cover. It's a Ditko. It's an early Ditko. Well, it's about a mid-run Ditko. Didn't he stop at 39? 38? Norman Osborn was his final creation. I think Norman Osborn was named in 38. He had been, the Goblin in 14. And I love the drama in the 60s Marvel, with Stan Lee getting all the credit as the editor. And the artist saying, like, what the heck, man? And if you know about the process, their creative process was very interesting, because the artist, Ditko and Kirby, would create all of this vast landscape of characters and storylines, really. I mean, and then bring the work to Stan Lee, and Stan Lee would editorialize after the fact. He would add dialogue after. And I think there is an art to dialogue, and Stan stands by that. He created Spider-Man by instructing Ditko what he wanted. And Ditko forever had, that upset him greatly, and he wanted a creator credit. And Stan Lee said that he would consider Steve Ditko a creator, which Ditko didn't like the semantics of that definition. And so I don't think they ever spoke again. And I know Kirby left Marvel in 70, maybe 69, after like so many tons of great work, Fantastic Four, Thor, X-Men, all of these amazing characters and creations. And, I'm sure they tussled about credit. And I think a lot of the media credit, because it was a success and the characters were gaining steam in the eye of culture and society. Marvel was the first characters as superheroes that had problems. Peter Parker was a high school nerd, you know. Prior to that, you had Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and they were all, you know, larger than life, kind of perfect. And so, yeah, that was the Silver Age, and this is a Silver Age book. And, you know, it's just interesting. It's interesting that Ditko was a big libertarian, was a big fan of Ayn Rand, and disliked government, you know, and he went on to create a character. I can't remember the name of the character. I'm sure many others know much more than I do, but from what I've seen, he was just kind of he became reclusive. He didn't want to do interviews. He was a nice guy. If people would just show up to his office in New York City, it was a publicized office. I mean, people knew where he was, and they would show up and ask for an interview, and he just wouldn't allow it. So, you know, cool guy. Very hard signature in that regard. Like, not many Ditko signatures at all. And so he would answer some fan mail, and he would give signatures in fan mail. And yeah, so it's a really interesting story. So this is in the middle of his run on Amazing Spider-Man, which he considered himself to be the creator of Spider-Man. If not fully, at least co. And who knows what Stan Lee said. This is Stan Lee's story, saying that he told Ditko what he wanted, you know. And who knows with Stan the Man Lee. I think it was a group effort myself. I think it was probably, you know, lightning in a bottle with this group, and Lee Kirby Ditko. And so who knows? Who knows what happened? But I'm grateful, and I love to think about all the economy they created. I mean, think of all the jobs that just Spider-Man, only Spider-Man has created in his existence. Like, Spider-Man puts people to work. It's really cool. It's really cool. X-Men was like the first films. Was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man before X-Men? I can't remember. All right. So this book is cleaner. You can see what we pulled off here. And this was the back, my 2 fingerprints, you know. And we're just going to let this dry a second, and we're going to apply some peroxide and enter it into the light box. I think we're going to get a decent result out of this. I'm excited. I sort of want to mend these staple tears, but I haven't learned how to do that yet. Okay, I think now we will let this dry. Let me grab a rack. Let this dry over here. For the time being, and grab our demon and do a cover removal on Mr. Demon here. Very yellow back cover. Spine seems to be in a little bit better shape. I already cleaned this book, so all we're doing is removing the cover and putting it in the white box. And if everything goes well, I may be reassembling ASM 19 tonight. Just depending. I might not be able to because it is going to have to dry after the washing machine. But if it does dry, I'll put it back together and press it tonight, and then let it cold press over the night and have a reveal for tomorrow afternoon's show. So there's staple one. I wonder if it'd be more advisable to start on the bottom staple typically. I don't really know if there's any point. There's side two. It is important to press down on the staple, and it'll lift the top side a little bit. Hopefully enough, take enough tension off of it to get your pry underneath. All right, here we go. So the staples can definitely get wonky on pry when you pry them. They're bendy little pieces of metal. Crooked little devils. Yeah, crooked. Kirby Splash. I do like to see the progression of the artwork. There's a ton of crackle. Nice wizard. Unleash the one who waits. Cool art, man. Kirby is king. For a reason. For sure. Okay, now I just want to repeat my staple process here. Demon one. And these are definitely wonky, so I'm going to have to reform them. Can you see the little bend there? It's hard to see, but all right. Now I can pretty much go ahead. You can see the stain here I created from the mark removal. And here is, I may have a photo in my media player to show me before. No. How do I see my desktop with no other images? Okay, so I had to change the file type of my photos from high efficiency, which is HEIC, to JPEG. And I had to go into my iPhone settings in order to achieve that. That was a big headache because I was having trouble with thumbnails, and high efficiency photos aren't very compatible with many programs, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. I had to YouTube it to figure it out. So anyway, enough whining, right? Enough crying and whining. Okay, I think I probably didn't change the angle, but Here we go. We're just gonna get in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask the front. This yellow here, I don't want that exposed. So I'm just gonna go like this. All right. And then we're gonna take Mr. Okay. This is Mr. That's his name. That's this guy's name, Mr. Don't forget it. And we're going to, let's see, where should I? Probably right here. We're just gonna do a light, just a little light treatment there. Kind of light, not pretty heavy really, kind of a heavy. I'm gonna do a heavy treatment. All right, and we're in the box. It is 12:46. So by the time tonight's show comes on at 8, we will have 7 hours. I think we are dry here. Just want to get a little paper under here just in case. All right. And just to clarify, this is my thinking on the process, is that remove cover, clean cover, so that you're not removing a wet cover, right? Remove the cover first, then clean it, dry cover, clean it, put it on the board, then whiten, then wash. In my experience, I have put a little bit too much peroxide on and have created some stain lines from the peroxide. So if I do the peroxide first and then wash, I can wash off whatever lines I create and move forward from there. So that's my thinking on the process. Okay, so we're just going to go right over here. I don't want to do this next to my dry press. I think I'll do it over by the boxes. Thank you for your patience and understanding as I work out the kinks of my channel. That should be plenty. Oh yeah. It's gonna be real nice. All right. I will check on this in 2 hours. And that'll be it for today's episode. So thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. Hope to see you this evening at 8 o'clock. I'll be on every day at 12:15 and 8. Sometimes on Tuesdays I play poker in the evening and I won't be able to post, but I haven't got that text yet today, so I'm planning to be back at 8 o'clock tonight to do an update on my 2 cover removal, whitening, washing, reassembly, and pressing. So until next time, in 7 hours. I know this is a lot of content, but I like doing it, so yeah. All right. I'll talk to you in a little bit.